Hi, precious. Thank you for joining us. We're reading today in the text, chapter 8, The Journey Back. And we are in section 9, Healing is Corrective Perception, paragraph 6. The ego, which always wants to weaken the mind, tries to separate it from the body in an attempt to destroy it. Yet the ego actually believes that it is protecting it. I'm going to pause here and say, wow, that's some epic delusion right there. In an attempt to destroy it, but believes it is protecting it. This is because the ego believes that mind is dangerous and that to make mindless is to heal. But to make mindless is impossible, since it would mean to make nothing out of what God created. The ego despises weakness, even though it makes every effort to induce it. Wow. Oh my goodness. There's a part of me that just recognizes the truth in this when I read it, but it's also just such a indescribably eerie feeling when I'm like, that's true. That's true. Why have we been so crazy? The ego despises weakness even though it makes every effort to induce it. The ego wants only what it hates. To the ego, this is perfectly sensible. Believing in the power of attack, the ego wants attack. The Bible enjoins you to be perfect, to heal all errors, to take no thought of the body as separate, and to accomplish all things in my name. This is not my name alone, for ours is a shared identification. The name of God's Son is one. We're told again and again, and of course, that you're God's Son. You are God's Son. My beloved, you watching this right now are God's beloved Son. God's one beloved Son, because we are one, and Christ taught that in the Bible again and again. The name of God's Son is one, and you are enjoined to do the works of love because we share this oneness. Be of one heart and one mind. It doesn't say that right here. It says that in the Bible, though. Our minds are whole because they are one. If you are sick, you are withdrawing from me. Wow. Okay, I'm going to pause here and say, some people, my ego, I'll just be honest, my ego goes, oh, that's shaming someone for being sick. Why are you doing that? And immediately Spirit said, Rebecca, I'm teaching you the truth. I am not shaming you. I am teaching you the truth. Will you receive the truth? There's no effort to shame us in A Course in Miracles. There is only an effort to enlighten us, an offering to enlighten us if we're willing and ready. If you are sick, you are withdrawing from me, yet you cannot withdraw from me alone. You can only withdraw from yourself and me. Coming back home to yourself is coming back home to God, to love, to peace, to joy, to truth, because you are all those things along with God as one. You have surely begun to realize that this is a very practical course and one that means exactly what it says. I would not ask you to do things you cannot do, and it is impossible that I could do things you cannot do. Wow. This makes me think of a teaching in the Bible that says, Christ says that there will be those that come after him who do his miracles and even greater. There wasn't any ego there. There are some people who try to put Christ up here and us down here to separate us, but that wasn't what Christ taught. I would not ask you to do things you cannot do, and it is impossible that I could do things you cannot do. Given this, and given this quite literally, nothing can prevent you from doing exactly what I ask. And everything argues for you doing it. I give you no limits because God lays none upon you. When you limit yourself, we are not of one mind, and that is sickness. Yet sickness is not of the body, but of the mind. All forms of sickness are signs that the mind is split and does not accept a unified purpose. The unification of purpose, then, is the Holy Spirit's only way of healing. That is because it is the only level at which healing means anything. The reestablishing of meaning in a chaotic thought system is the way to heal it. Your task is only to meet the conditions for meaning, since meaning itself is of God. Yet your return to meaning is essential to His because your meaning is part of His. Your healing, then, is part of His health. Since it is part of His wholeness, He cannot lose this, but you cannot know it. Yet it is still his will for you, and his will must stand forever and in all things. Whew. Okay, let's talk about this. The ego is 100% committed to sickness and victimhood or victory, to being predator or prey, but your ego does not know how to be equal, how to be at one with others, to see them as yourself, to love them as yourself, because in truth, there is no separation. The ego does not know how to do that. It only knows how to divide and conquer, or divide and be conquered. But the only pathway to true victory is to let go. Let go of everything and see what remains. See what is still there. Because the truth can't go anywhere. It's self-evident. It's right there in front of you. If you let go of everything, the lies that we used to cling to, the fear that we used to cling to, the confusion that we used to cling to, it's all gone. My love, we don't have to figure it all out. In fact, we don't have to figure anything out, because only the ego creates figurines. Love has no need for that. Truth has no need for that. It is self-evident when you let go of everything else. I love you. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you soon.